All right, I'm awake. It's day number 2 for Comic-Con, day number 16 for 100 Days of Making Comics. I'm up before everyone else because I want to try to get in the Hasbro line to get some exclusives. And I just saw the bus wasn't here, so I'm gonna take my chances and try to get a coffee, and hopefully I won't miss the next bus. Yep, it's a new morning. It's about 6:45. The Hasbro line, from what I've been told, starts moving as early as 7. It's probably gonna take me at least 15 minutes to get over there. I've done this before with mild success. Basically, you know, to be guaranteed, I probably would have had to get here an hour or two earlier, but as it is, I got about 5 hours sleep, so. Meanwhile, they have instituted the chip technology in the passes, which means that you know, just similar with the way they've done with credit cards. So instead of having to have somebody inspect it or show it to people, it was mailed to me. Didn't have to register, didn't have to stand in a line. Just got here and already had my pass, and then I swiped it, which some people were very trepidatious about, but so far it's been working really well, and I think it's been helping the crowds. Certainly cut down on at least one line, and yeah, so we're moving into day 2 early. I have, obviously I've not done my 30 minutes yet. I guess I could have done it on the bus, but I was just drinking some cappuccino, trying to stay alive, and now I'll continue to try to stay alive inside the con. On my way to the con, across the street, you can see they had a full-size Batmobile and a giant life-size Superman statue. They have a lot of cool stuff like this outside. That's Superman. He has a statue. He lives here. He's a super guy. I started so far back, you can't even see where I started.
You know, it's...
First minute it's open, and you can see everyone's filling in every gap. Quickly! It's kind of cruel that they make the actors stand so still in these glass cases, but, you know, that's Hollywood. That's what they signed up for. So here you can see the Lionsgate booth, which is where they got the new Power Rangers. There's me as a, I don't know, pre-morph ranger. It was weird. It wasn't like a helmet morph. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff that I'm panning over, but I'm just going to talk over it. I had a miserable morning. Aside from walking around and not getting enough sleep and things like that, I was misinformed about what line to get on. I waited outside in the boiling hot for a while, and not only did I not get to the place where they give out the tickets for the exclusives, but I'm not even sure I was in the right line. And then they herded us to a different line, and then they had to insert us into the line, and went through a whole bunch of stuff, and I ended up just getting into the regular line to get into the convention. That it took me about 2 to 3 hours to do that, whereas I have a pro pass, and at the end there you saw me just in that little area. That's where the pros were. I could have just went straight into that and waited in the air conditioning and still got in ahead of most of the people that I was waiting in line with for 3 hours, and I laid down and almost fell asleep there. Radical dude! Here's a better look at the new Legacy line of Power Ranger figures. They're these 6-inch figures that cross all the generations, and they have this awesome setup with like rotating LEDs, and it's pretty exciting. It's a bummer that most of these won't be out until November or October. Let's see what this does. Captain Phasma. Star Wars. Yeah. Captain Phasma, clad in distinctive armor, salvaged chromium. Alright, that's a lot of words. Right? We've all seen the movie.
And it even sold out.
Right, yeah. Oh, and here's the thing. That's, she's back there. I can't. Nope. The end. Big mean man. He's a monster. It's almost 12, and let me tell you, I'm exhausted. I was sweating almost from the moment I woke up. Stood in line for hours. It was the wrong line. I had no chance of getting the exclusive I wanted. I wasn't even in the right line. It was super frustrating. I'm not going to dwell on that, but I blame everyone that runs this convention. It's a ongoing issue that's gotten worse. Well, that's complaining, isn't it? Okay. But I walked the floor. I got some other things for my friends that they asked me to pick up, and I generally had a good time. Got a Power Ranger picture, as you have seen, and now it's late in the day. I've been on my feet for about 6 hours, and it's 12 o'clock. So I'm going to go into town to meet Q and a friend and get some lunch slash breakfast at the Sci-Fi Diner, because I have not eaten anything since I've been awake. The only bad part is I'm going to be in the sweltering heat in about 10 seconds. So wish me luck. You know, I was seconds away from saying it's not as hot as I thought it would be, but then it was.
Why can't I say 4?
It's the Daily Sharknado Parade.
Accurate.
Nice. We could go home, everyone. Comic-Con's done now.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
They can sit in there. That's amazing.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's the Ray and BB-8 I want.
In the Hasbro line.
Taylor Swift thing. I've been on Twitter.
Are you still Johnny about that one?
I'm at the Corvette Diner. So it's been a heck of a day. I am sitting outside of my hotel near a pool. I'm not using the pool. It is around 12:30 midnight. My day started off terrible with missed lines and sweating the second I walked out the door, and just I ended up being on my feet from about 6 in the morning until about 12, pretty much nonstop, walking or standing in some capacity, not having a ton of luck with anything I was doing. I did get a cool Power Rangers picture and a few other things, and around that time I hooked up with Q, and then we started walking around. I started having more of a good time just because I was hanging out with her. And by the end of the day, I had gotten into the Hasbro line and gotten some of the exclusive I wanted through just happenstance and luck, which seems to be how it happens a lot here, unfortunately, or fortunately when it works out. She got some things she needed. I picked up everything my friend asked me to pick them up except for one thing, which I probably won't be able to get realistically. And yeah, and then we also had lunch at the Sci-Fi Diner, and then we went out to dinner at the Corvette Diner, which I love, with my cousin. All this I know you just saw, but I'm kind of recapping for myself as well. And yeah, so then we wanted to see a movie. We were going to see Ghostbusters or Star Trek, and we went to see Star Trek because of the timing that worked out, and we had to kill a little time. And in between, I had this cool coffee ice cream mixed drink that I tried to get a Frappuccino type thing, and they didn't have it, but I really needed the caffeine because, as we've established, I'm not sleeping. And so that worked out, and then we saw Star Trek, the new one, and it was great. It was way better than the last two. I was not a huge fan of the reboot series, but this one's awesome, and it makes me look forward to more, and I hope they keep going. Yeah, more good stuff happened, but the gist of it is that the day started off frustrating and continuously got better to the end, except right now, having got up at 6 in the morning with like 4 or 5 hours sleep and been out all day, now at 12:30 when I want nothing more than to pass out, I gotta put my 30 minutes in. So I came out here, A, so I could talk to this video, and B, so I could draw, because our roommates, when we got back, were already asleep, so I can't do this in there. And it is nice to sit outside, and if I wasn't so exhausted, this would be pretty pleasant. So I'm gonna put in my 30 minutes, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure it out, because I know it's some sort of design, but I think I had a list somewhere. So anyway, I'm gonna do that now. So what I ended up working on was librarian designs. I had already created the librarian, but was sort of refining it a little bit, and then the workstation where Boots would do some research, and the chair, and a headset, and just generally library stuff. So okay, that's 1:34 a.m., and that's it for day 16. I'm exhausted. I'm going to put this clip at the end and go to sleep. I don't plan on getting up early tomorrow. I want to actually sleep. But anyway, today's day 16, and if Wow, I look terrible. If today's 16, then that means we've got 34 days left.